I have, I have just made you the co-host.
Sweet. All right, let me pull this up. Make sure I can share my sound because I got some videos to show y'all. Cool. All right, here we go. All right, so great. Like I said, my name's Sean. I work for an organization called Get Schooled. So I'll tell you a little bit about what we do, and then also a little bit about how you can use our resources. And everything that I'm going to share today is completely free. It's completely open source. There's, it's for, well, I'll get into it, but it's for you and for the young people you serve to use. So we hope that this is all useful information. So Get Schooled, we're a free digital solution to support young people. So because we're an all digital resource and platform, we actually work nationally. So I'm based in Seattle. We've got folks based in kind of some different states around the country, but our goal is to serve as many young people as we can along a few journeys. So we help young people get to college, find a first job, and succeed in both. And we do this through the power of the internet and through the power of partnerships and people like you who support young people directly, really using our resource as a value add to what you do. So we serve, based on our website and our social media and just the resources, over 1 million young people, 16 to 24 across the country use our resources. And it's open, so it's for everyone, but our end user by design is designed for the needs of underserved students. So young people of color, people in rural and urban places, low-income youth, and youth who are first in their family to go to college is really kind of our core audience, and it's really who we're trying to reach, and that's really what our hope is and our mission. And it's an open source kind of digital resource, and so anyone can use it. So it's there for everyone and anyone.
Sean, there's a question that just came in.
Oh yeah.
This is from our partners in Indianapolis. Was this the program that partnered with the Taco Bell Foundation?
Yes. So yes, we've had a couple iterations in the past. I've been at Get Schooled for just over a year now, so that predates me. But yes, we used to do Get Schooled in former iterations. We used to do a lot of kind of celebrity partnerships and big brand partnerships around. We used to do like attendance challenges and in-school challenges and things like that. And so that for sure is, I know that's how actually we were asked to come present as someone who knew us from those days. And in the past couple of years, we've really shifted to trying to become a digital solution for young people, where they can find us where they are, which is, I'll get into how we do that, but yes, that's us. And getschooled.com. So if you're on your computer and want to switch over, I'm going to take you through the website and things, but getschooled.com is where you can find us.
And she said that the gaming and point aspect was very effective to use with students and easy to integrate in the classroom.
Yes, so that that aspect of the website was, yeah, it used to be kind of like you could earn points on the website and things like that. I appreciate that, Beth. Unfortunately, we don't do that particular aspect anymore, the kind of points and stuff like that. The website was getting a little unwieldy, and we wanted to shift more to like kind of one-on-one counseling type stuff, which we do through text, which we'll get into. But we hope that the resources that we have now are still things that can be integrated into classrooms, and hopefully I can show a few examples of that. And shared my bio at the beginning, but just to share here too, I think I started as an AmeriCorps member, working in middle schools and high schools, and I ran kind of programs doing tutoring and mentoring young people. And the 4 years previous to coming to Get Schooled, I was working for a workforce development agency here in Seattle. So overseeing internships and WIOA funds and all the stuff that I know you all know very well. So just it's great to be here and take you through some of our stuff. All right. So I'm going to start us off with a little video just to kind of, why not? Like we're great at we've got good creative people on our team who um, make great videos and things like that. That is not my forte, but they do great work. And so I'll play this video and then we can kind of get into some more about the what we actually do. Hopefully y'all can hear this.
Yo, listen. The pressure is real when it comes to making big decisions about your future. How do you land that first job? What does education look like after high school? How are you even paying for all this? We're here to help you answer these questions and more. You tell us your goals and we'll help you get there. It's your education. It's your future. It's your life.
So just a brief overview video, kind of we just redid that. It's kind of the new 30-second elevator pitch to young people. We're trying to build youth resonant resources, and so they're really our end user. And so as you kind of go through this, know that, and then we partner with educators so that you can use it in your classrooms, you can use it with the young people you serve on your caseloads and things like that. And so yeah, great. So a little bit about the challenge that we're trying to solve, which I think you all know this extremely well. But there are the structural and racial inequities in education, and I would say job access, prevent young people from getting great information, and not through a lack of want or need from adults like all of us. But we know that there's a gap between the amount of young people there are and the amount of educators and people like us doing this work. And so our whole ethos is not to be a replacement for any of those things, or that deep in-person work that you do that I know I've done in the past through case management. It's really about how can we be value add for the young people so that they can reach us anytime, and for the educators and the adults in their life who might just need a resource to say like, oh, I don't know how to explain FAFSA very well. I'm going to go to Get Schooled and find a quick video or an article to share. And so that's really what that gap between amount of information needed versus amount of people and like people in individuals' lives that can answer those questions. And that's really where we want to be. So if young people are scrolling on TikTok, yes, they're getting awesome videos about how to make a grilled cheese, but they're also seeing quality information about a scholarship they can apply to, or how to best position their resume. So just wanted to share this as a sense of scale for who we're reaching and kind of where we're at in the world. And we're going to have updated numbers like as of like 2 weeks from now. So these will I wish I had those right now, but this is where we're at as of this time last year. So over 1 million website visits. Social media will kind of go through kind of how we do that and measure that. We do a ton of video. We have our own job search tool, which I'll go through, and we have a text line, which we communicate one-on-one with young people through text. And you can see a little bit about our demographics. So it's majority young people of color, nearly majority first generation college going students, majority low income youth. And so those are the folks that we know are our end user, and those are the folks that give us feedback. And so we're proud of these, and we're always trying to reach more young people. And so that's where you come in. All right, so we think about our work across 3 journeys of support. And so you'll see that reflected in our website and our YouTube things. Everything that we do is around these 3 kind of journeys. And so getting to college. So when, especially we're thinking about middle high school. So we're like 16 to 24-year-old is kind of our target audience. So, definitely some freshmen, sophomores are using our resources, but we really kind of get into the journey. But getting to college. So what happens when you're a high school age youth? And we're thinking college expansively. So whatever that post-secondary pathway is, I come from trying to expand apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship options in my area over the past couple of years. So that's near and dear to my heart. So college in that expansive way, what kind of training do you need to get into whatever career path you want? So making sure they have the essential information to hit that kind of mark. And then once they're there, how do we support them in succeeding once they're in that that post-secondary pathway. And then the third journey, which is what I oversee at Get Schooled, is finding a job. So, and I would say succeeding in a job as well. So our kind of jobs content. So really thinking about that first kind of work experience that a young person might have, whether it's an internship in the summer or that first retail job that they have while they're in high school or college. Making sure that they have the tools they need to put together a resume, know how to interview, really get their foot in the door. And then once they're there, knowing a little bit about the world of work. So those are our 3 journeys that we'll kind of explore. And how we think about it and how young people get connected to us. When they sign up for an account or when they text us, we know where they're kind of situated, whether they've asked for job supports or whether they're, in high school age or in first year, second year of post-secondary. Based on what we know about them, we send them particular resources along a kind of pathway. And so we have, we kind of sort it by graduation year. So all of our current graduates and high school graduates, that is, are moving from this high school senior resources. They've gotten, SAT prep things, application things, essay reviews, things like that along the year. And now we're making sure that they've completed their FAFSA. They're checking in about orientation for the next year if they're doing a particular program in the fall, which looks a little different than someone who's a sophomore or junior or who is connected to us for job support. And some of those people can be on both, but we think about these milestones as, as you all do along the lines of any program. So how do we do this? And we'll kind of dive into each of these. So our support really starts with meaningful research-based content. And so that's really what my team does. We're the program team. I'm a former educator. My colleague who was supposed to be here is a former teacher. A lot of us have worked in either higher ed, financial aid, or directly in the classroom. And so we're the team that's putting together all the resources you'll see on the website. We're making sure that anything that we're doing is based in the kind of like best research available now around college access and job supports. And so we're the kind of ones crafting the message, crafting the articles and the kind of things you'll find on our website. And then we take that meaningful content and we put it out through social media. We distill those things into short form videos. We distill those things through our communications team, who are the creative, cool ones, who put together the graphics and make things look shiny and appealing to young people and to us. So that's the kind of like channel we're trying to get it out through. And then young people connect to us through text or email. And then we give personalized advice. So we have a text line that young people can sign up for, which I'll kind of go into a little bit more. But that's where, we can push out specific resources that we know they might be needing based on where they're at in their journey. But also they can just ask us any question. And because it's this text line and we have trained counselors on it, we can kind of scale that access for the question right then, right there. So we'll get into more about what each is. That's the kind of like approach that we take. So our website, and I'm going to kind of like shift from PowerPoint mode into, I might just do like a screen share of the website, but this is the kind of backbone of where all of our resources lie. And so getschooled.com, you can pull it up right now. It's a mobile first design. We know that the majority of our users, young people, are using their mobile phones more than desktop or tablet. And so it works on both, but our website actually was designed for the phone first. and we wanted to make sure that that was always there. And we were always kind of iterating on graphics, and we have a youth advisory group which kind of gives us feedback on what's hitting and what's not. Always increasing our amount of video, because that again is feedback we've gotten from young people that videos work, and we see that in our engagement numbers. And we want to make sure that it's easy to find information. And so our search bar and things like that is actually super responsive to what's on our website, which sometimes you don't get on a website. And the big thing for me and for us is like, this is an ungated, never going to be an advertisement on our website. We're a nonprofit. We raise all of our funds through foundations and, you know, corporate giving and things like that. And so you'll never see an ad. We don't collect any, we don't sell or share any youth information, things like that. And so this is a big value of ours. Let me just share just a little bit, just show you the website a little bit, just so you can get a sense, and hopefully you can check it out on your own as well. But it's laid out in a way that someone could just scroll vertically, and we've got featured articles based on the time of year. So you can see right now, like summer before college is happening, where to find a remote internship for the summer. And then it'll be broken down by the journeys that I mentioned before. So the Get to College journey, if you click into that, it'll be a whole host of kind of subtopics in there that you can kind of like see, like FAFSA, choose a college. There's more of them, but those are kind of our most popular ones. Then there's the Succeed in College, which again, these are just a few of the options. And then the Find a Job. So those are the 3 journeys. So if you click into any of those, a young person can kind of navigate through that. Or you can go up here and it's the same thing. And then we'll kind of get into some of the more resources and how folks can sign up for individualized help, and how educators can get involved as well. And yeah, I just wanted to call out the search bar as well. So like if you were, I'm pretty proud of this because I think it actually works. So if you were looking for, you know, FAFSA things, it brings up the actual things that have FAFSA in the title, and you can kind of navigate that way as well. So if you know a specific topic that a young person's asking for that you need a resource for, it's a good place to start. All right. We'll probably jump back over there in a little bit, but continue with this. So that's the website, again, the backbone of all the kind of like research and kind of information dense stuff that young people can use. So social media. So I think this is another one of our biggest kind of value adds out there is, again, we're taking all of that information and we're trying to make it into a digestible, user-friendly, youth-friendly on the platforms that they're on. And so, you know, we've got, I'll show a little bit about our Instagram and TikTok. Those are kind of where we're biggest. But we're also on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and things like that. But what this really is our mechanism for getting the information out to the largest swath of folks. And then hopefully from that, youth are then building that kind of awareness of like, oh, that's a resource I can go to. So yes, I watched a 6-second funny video on TikTok from them, but oh yeah, they also do provide scholarship information and information about how to get a job. And so, you know, that's kind of the hook. Just to give you a sense, I'm gonna pop over to, you know, some of our recent posts on Instagram. So, so today's post is about, you know, going from an associate's degree to a bachelor's degree and things like that. And it always links back to our bio, which links back to our website. And so there's kind of hopefully a virtuous circle of like, if this is bringing something for a young person, great, I'm going to go and check out more information. So Instagram is definitely a little bit more, there's definitely video, but there's an opportunity for us to do more kind of like static graphic design type stuff as well. We have kind of career pathway ones that we do. So if you want to become a software developer, there's some kind of breaking down like, what do they do and what should I major in and what can I get out of it. So those are just kind of like static graphics we can do. And then over on TikTok, if any of you are on TikTok, it's all about the music, the short form, like 6 to 8 seconds is really the kind of the most kind of viewership you'll get. And then again, it's about driving back to the kind of content. So like, I'll just share one because why not?
30,000.
So that's it. That has 1,300 views right now. So some of them, this is also where we put out a lot of information about scholarships that are out. Those do really well. And from young people, we've heard that the thing that they most need is funding for either a job, they need money, or money for whatever post-secondary they're going into. And so those are the kind of information we're trying to get out there. Yep. So there's that. And then I guess I'll just hit on YouTube really quick. But again, this is where kind of more longer form, like a minute or two, some of them are a little longer than that, videos lie. So most all of the articles on our website will have a video that's embedded. And so we build these videos from the kind of research back information that's on our website into these videos. And so you'll see Don show up a lot. So Don's on our staff. He's started as an intern. He's amazing, and he's kind of the face of Get Schooled. He calls himself the mascot, but I refuse. And so these are laid out along the similar ways. So college success, getting to college, job success, and you can always just search here for a particular video you want. So again, a good thing to include in a lesson plan, to send a young person if you want them to think about a summer youth employment program and things like that, or a summer job search plan, or whatever it is that you're looking for. I think that's all I wanted to say about social media. I guess the only thing is that we know, and I know from working for other nonprofits in the past, is the first thing that doesn't get funded at any nonprofit or any kind of work you do is like the communications side of things. And because we're, a programmatic entity that really is like about communicating, it's a really big part of what we do. And it's something that we find that, our partners across the country and in schools and jobs programs and things like that lean on our content in order to not have to do that on their own. And then we do partner with individual either states or school districts or individual organizations to help build some more like bespoke content if we have kind of a more formal relationship. And so that's also kind of on the table. What I'm sharing today is really kind of the broad overview of what Get Schooled does, but there's a lot of like individual partnership that we could do as well. All right, that's social media. Oops. Oops. All right. So again, text. So those are the kind of like broad, like anyone can access it. A young person could just be scrolling and see those things, which is great. This is getting down to a little bit deeper level of engagement. So this is how we do the majority of our one-on-one support for young people is through text. And so we have a text line, which, a lot of people have a text line these days, which is great. We've been doing it for 7 years, I believe. And so it's something that we're really good at and always kind of iterating and trying to figure out how to get better at. This is how we're engaging almost 20,000 youth across the country who have signed up to be on our text line. So based on either their graduation year or their needs, they're getting individualized resources and things like that sent to them. And then that's kind of like through a script, so we can do that to large swaths of people at once. And then young people can text us any question that they have. And then we have a team of counselors who are real humans answering these things, which is always funny because there's always like some texts that come back and you're like, oh, they fully think this is only a robot, which is understandable. But there's a real person on the other end of it with feelings. And so sometimes we remind them of that. Um, but this is also a way that, they can text us in about, of course, about college things and getting a job and where they should look for a job and how to put together a resume and things like that. But some young people will text us like, "Hey, I'm undocumented. I live in X state. What can I do?" And a lot of times, if it's something like that that we might have some resources for, but maybe not, um, maybe not be like, might not be like our forte, we'll find a resource for them in their community and send that to them and make sure that they give that kind of referral. And so um, it's a, for us, it's a great way to be able to support folks all over the country. And so um, they just can sign up. It's 335577, and I'll share all this afterwards, but highly encourage any youth you serve to sign up. Um, it's never more than one text a week. It's usually one every 2 weeks. So it's not like a huge amount of things that are coming from us, but they can use it whenever they want, at any time they want. And so I think that's also what is a cool value add for folks who, like you, who, are doing a ton of case management and teaching. Just wanted to share that we host a ton of scholarship information as well because of the feedback we've gotten from young people that they want to know all the different types of scholarships. So some we are promoting on social media or whatever that are scholarships that we're finding. So we vet the scholarships to make sure they're legit, that they're not selling student information, that ideally they have a low barrier to entry. And so we're sharing those kind of things. And then sometimes we will host scholarships. So we'll get a grant from someone and we'll be able to actually be the ones who administer the scholarship. So we've done a We Belong in College scholarship for the last couple of years, which is all about young people actually submitting a short video of themselves talking about why they think they belong in college and what has led them there and kind of what their journey's been. And so those stories are just immensely powerful. And then the other big one we've done the last couple of years is HBCU week. So historically Black colleges and universities really trying to support the young people, especially Black young people who we serve, and making sure that they, one, know about HBCUs, and two, know that there are scholarships to get there. And so those have been really big. And it's consistently the thing that we get asked about the most from young people and gets the highest engagement. So we're always trying to find more scholarships. So if you need another scholarship list, definitely add Get Schooled. The other huge thing, and I know that this may or may not be super relevant to y'all, but we have a ton of information on FAFSA and support a lot of young people with getting through that process, especially for first generation college going students. The financial aid world is the biggest barrier to entry to any kind of post-secondary, right? Like you can use it for community college, for four-year colleges, for some apprenticeship programs even. So getting this thing filled out is a beast. And it's certainly the thing that we're asked about in conjunction with scholarships. It's all about like, can I pay for this? And so, 96% of students who have used Get Schooled for FAFSA support say it's useful. And we see that through the engagement that we get. And so just wanted to put this out there, as it's been a really big kind of focus of ours for the last couple of years, is making sure youth have access to quality information like this. All right, a little bit about our jobs programs, which I lead, so obviously biased and think they're the best part. So this actually was originally, Get Schooled was about attendance, was about getting to college, things like that. And we added a job support because young people were telling us, they were always asking us, like, I need a job, I need a resume. How do I kind of do that? How do I find a job? And so we built a whole program for it and added that journey. I think it's been 4 or 5 years. And so it's still growing, and I think that partnering with Indiana Jag and just folks like yourself, knowing that this resource is out there only helps us improve. And so some of the things that we offer, in addition to the kind of website articles and that journey and things like that, and that the text line and things like that, those individualized supports. A couple other individualized things we do free resume review. And so I'll pop over and show you on the website, but a young person can either have their own resume, or they can use a template that we have. We have a couple templates that a lot of young people like using. They submit it through kind of our website, which is just like a few pieces of information, upload their resume. It comes to us. We give real actionable, again, like I'm doing resume review, we have a team of counselors physically going in and submitting feedback. We do it all through kind of Google Documents, actionable feedback, and we get it back to that young person within a week. And so now there's this document that's open. Sometimes it becomes a conversation in the comments and things like that, or sometimes they just accept all the comments, make the changes, and move on, which is amazing. And so that's available to any young person. And so that's a huge one, is that even if they're applying for a job that is through a portal where they don't need a resume, having that, as you all know, having all that information in one place is super helpful. On the other side of things, just to mention, we do the same thing for college essays and scholarship essays. So if a young person is applying for college and has an essay, they can do the same thing there. So just throw that out there. We have a youth-centered job search tool, which I'll also show you. It's basically a tool that's on our website that filters for jobs in a particular zip code. So they enter their zip code, and then it filters for entry-level jobs. So it's filtering out all jobs that have either a particular education or experience requirement, and so hopefully kind of creating a bit of a filter so that they're not just going on Indeed or something like that and getting overwhelmed with the kind of options they have. But that has also been a huge asset to young people, that we can share with them and say, here's where you can start your job search. Oh, and by the way, the resume templates are embedded, and the resume help is embedded, and our text line is embedded. And so it's kind of that one-stop shop for job search. And then we're helping individual young people on the text line in particular, about questions about employment, questions about, hey, I just started a job and I don't understand how am I supposed to interact with my manager? How can I do that? And we're kind of guiding young people through that. And then we'll support any kind of hiring fairs, events like this, things that that might be going on in your community. We're happy to either go via the virtual world, and when we can, go in person as well. And so if you have events coming up that you think Get School could be helpful to be there, either to provide in-person resume help, interview help, just be a resource for young people as part of like just a resource section or something, we're also happy to do that. Let me pop over to show you a little the resume and job search tool. So they can find that under resources. So this is where they could sign up for text, get the essay reviewed, get their resume reviewed, or search for a job. So they go to resume help. It's a good time for my computer to be slow. They go here, and all they have to do is they have to create an account, which is basically just their email and yeah, just their first name, last name, email, so that we know who to send it back to. And then they upload their resume, and that's it. You can also click here for our resume templates. So a video again, and then a couple template options that they can use, which are in Google Docs, just to show you. So just kind of a blank template that folks can start working on it. So there's that program. And then our job search tool. So this is kind of the main screen. Um, people can go down here for resources, but once they I'll put in my zip code. They can then filter by date posted, part-time. This is searching for all jobs, but if they wanted to search for customer service, again, these are it's kind of one at a time. This is mobile friendly, so it's easy to search on your phone. It's actually even better on the phone. It's a super responsive search tool that is pulling from existing job boards. So this isn't something that employers need to post to our website. It's pulling from multiple job boards that are kind of open source. And so what the value is, it's filtered for that experience level, and it's filtered for kind of that first job. So there's that. All right. Yeah, just a little bit more about our kind of jobs content. So what we're thinking about most is building out not only how to get those artifacts to get that first job, so the resume, the interview, the job search, things like that, but also empowering career exploration. So we've got content around different career pathways. We're putting together a video library that's all about folks who are in careers right now that our young people we know are interested in, and giving advice and giving some kind of like sharing a little bit about their path, and especially sharing paths that are windy and not linear. And a young person can say like, oh, I thought someone in working in at TikTok would have it all figured out if they're there. And it's like, nope, everyone has windy roads. So trying to demystify the idea of the kind of like linear path, and that's it's about exploration. We also through text we're able to put together kind of like upskilling text-based courses, and so that's a little bit of a newer thing for us, but trying to figure out ways that we can be supporting young people if they're in a first job or they want one, around how can we, even if it's just a daily 5-minute activity for a week, teach them about time management or customer service skills or conflict resolution, things like that. So that's something we're building now. And so if folks are signed up for our text line, they'll be getting those opportunities. And then we're always partnering with folks to make sure that we partner with individual organizations so that our information can get either embedded into their curriculum, or we sign up their young people and are able to kind of segment population. So if like Indiana Jag wanted a hashtag, we could have an Indiana specific text line where we could support young people through that. So those are some opportunities for kind of partnership. And like I said at the beginning, we know that our end user is young people, and at the end of the day, we're a digital resource that can feel like, I don't know if this is if you're just a young person who has found this, you might know Dawn on TikTok, but you forget like there's real people behind this. And so we know that the educators, the case managers, all of you are the folks that are building those relationships with young people. And so your kind of use of our resources, you kind of vouching for it, whatever you shared carries a tremendous weight. And so we're always thinking about how we're positioning whatever we do or who we're partnering with to make sure that it's a value add for you. And so if you're doing resume reviews or anything like that, and you've got too many to do or whatever, we can be that kind of like stopgap in between those things. So again, that's really what we see that kind of like individualized support to be, is it can be a value add for folks who are already doing this work. So that's that essay review, that resume review, the text line. We have downloadable resources, so things you can print as as one pagers, or you can print them as posters and things like that. And so there's a whole kind of host of downloadable resources we have. And then we have an educator kind of side of our website that if you sign up for our kind of like educator community, which I'll share in a second, we can send you this kind of a back end to our website, which allows you to search even more in depth and search for, only articles with videos about interview tips or things like that. And so making sure that our educators have the right information at their fingertips so that they're not kind of searching too much. And it would be amazing if you all joined our educator community. So this is again, like I will find the link and then I'll share it. So if you go to educators, there's a little bit about our resources. And if you join our community, I'm going to put it in the chat somewhere if you're interested. And basically it's just it's an email newsletter. Right now, because we're in summer, it's actually, I think we're going to monthly, and then during the kind of school year proper, we send out emails no more than weekly and usually every other week. And they're really about that kind of similar about those milestones, like where are we at in the school year? What kind of resources might be needed right now? And then it's just breaking down like 2 or 3 at a time or a scholarship upcoming. And we try to make them, like all of our stuff, pretty and make sure that it's digestible and things like that and actionable. So again, it's all free. You can use the website anyway, but if you wanted to receive an email, and we actually have an educator advisory board right now to give us feedback on the things. So those kind of opportunities come up through that community. And that's national folks. So I think it'd be highly encouraged. I think this is the last slide. So don't need to go through this, but I'll send this out to everyone anyway. But just a little bit about our impact. I think, we're just really proud of the scale of folks that we can reach and the kind of balance between reaching as many folks as we can and individuals. And when it works best, it's in partnership with folks like you who are using it to your advantage. And that's really where, someone can build a kind of relationship with us as an organization and know that what we're putting out there is legit and something to kind of use. And so, and young people give us great feedback. So that's always lovely as well. Cool. This is the end of my slide. So take questions. My contact information is there. Highly encourage folks to sign up for the educator community. I'm happy to talk one-on-one with folks. If you have questions or partnership ideas or things like that, we're always looking to make sure that folks have what they need and that we're useful for you.
All right, thank you, Sean. This will be recorded as well if you want to view any of the information later and see some of the resources later. And then anything that Sean sends will also, supplemental materials will be posted on the JAG Genius. So you'll have an opportunity to access them there as well. With that, we thank you again, Sean. And our session will be ended here shortly. I'm going to stop recording.